Hey, what's up, my brilliant Black Forest U-Logs? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and for those of you who are unaware, you can't make a Black Forest cake without using some cherries, which means that this is officially our final fruit dessert slash treat of the season, because today is the last day of nodewihoe, and we're going to be talking about my favorite weapons of 2019. But before we jump into any of that, this wouldn't be a nodewihoe video if we didn't talk about giveaways, right, boo? So we're going to go ahead and kick things off with a deluxe skin collection, as well as an Empyrean Grand Bundle. Now do keep in mind, these are both going to be across all platforms, but they will be handed out by DE. So whenever they return back into office is when they're going to go ahead and get it out to you. Now, on PC, I did want to go ahead and sweeten the pot. So we're going to have 3 additional giveaways, which I'm going to let Editing Rob tell you more about. However, I might spoil some of what I could potentially be giving away throughout the video. I'm not going to say anything, but I will let him edit himself somewhere into this video to give you guys the code for the day, as well as what I'm going to be giving out and the deadlines for it. So make sure that you go ahead and stay tuned. Now, let's go ahead and jump on in. So, traditionally, when I do these favorites videos, at least in the past few years, what I would do is I would curate 5 of my favorite weapons of the year. However, if I'm going to be honest with you, those videos tended to get very repetitive and you saw the same weapons over and over and over again. And this year, we didn't necessarily get a whole bunch of new weapons for me to just like drool all over. So I figured what I would do is I would pick out my favorites within the primary, secondary, and melee categories, and then I would provide you with 2 different runners-up. Now, I did find a little bit of a theme when it came to each one of these categories. Whenever I have a runners-up, at least one of those runners-up tended to be a throwback weapon. So I'm going to start off each category with the throwback runner-up. So let's go ahead and jump into our very first one. And oh my god, this one kind of like really warms the bottoms of my cockles. Is that appropriate? Is that how that works? Now, if you have known me for a long time, you'll know I love me a good shotgun. And I especially love the Warframe. Now, this year, they actually went ahead and introduced another skin for it in the Nyx Deluxe bundle, and it's absolutely beautiful. Get out of there, Glaive Prime. Stop spoiling things. But as you can see, it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, if I'm gonna be honest with you, when I was compiling this list, I actually went ahead and put this up against the Corinth. And I feel like the Corinth was a bit more powerful. But I thought to myself, what do you really love though? What is your actual favorites? And so I played with both and I realized, you know what? It doesn't matter if the Corinth is a little bit more powerful. The Warframe just feels better to me, you know, to use. Like, I love the way that it shoots, I love its handling, even the little blast effect that comes from Seal Meridian, where you can kind of like open enemies up to finishers with it. I'm all about that. Plus, you know, it'll give you a little health patch every now and then when one of those babies goes off. It's just a great throwback weapon that still holds up to this day. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the build. As you can see, this is going to be a Hunter's Munitions build where we do have some crit emphasis, and then we go ahead and toss in a little bit of viral to help all of those splash procs along. So I also went ahead and tossed in a laser sight. So the first shot that you throw out there may not necessarily be the most powerful, but once you're zoomed in and you start kind of smacking a little bit of head around, it's really gonna eat away at your enemies. So even though I wouldn't say that it's the best, it just feels the best to me. You know what I mean? It's like a personal favorite, which is what this video is about. And I want to stress that because, you know, it's not always meta. It's what really just gets to you. Now, this next weapon is something that I feel like a lot of people really, really like this weapon, and it's for good reason. And I can't find it while I'm scrolling, but it's the Tiberon Prime. Y'all know that I don't like really having to think too much. I like to set a build and just, you know, have it work. And the Tiberon Prime is like one of those types of weapons because of the fact that you can cycle through different types of firing modes. Three 3 freaking different types of firing modes. You can kind of like, you know, tailor your mood all with one weapon. You know, you don't feel like going in and, you know, pressing buttons too much, just go full auto. You want a little bit of a balanced damage dealer, you go in for the burst. I love a burst weapon. And then of course, if you just want to pop off some headshots, you can go ahead and toss in the semi-auto because they all have different focuses. Now, the burst, like I said, is the most balanced of the bunch. And as you can see, it's just good. It's just good and reliable, right? But if you don't want to deal with that, you could go into the semi, and the semi is going to be more crit focused, right? And then on top of that, you could go full auto if you really just want to be lazy daisy and don't really want to think about it. But for me, at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of just burst fire weapons in general. So that's where I tend to sit the most. So when you have a weapon that's just this effective, like, you can't be mad. And it slices, it dices, it does all the things that you want it to do. So this definitely had to be one of the runners up on my list. So let's go ahead and take a look at my build for it. Again, this is another Hunter's Munitions build. It's got some status, it's got some crit, and that's the big thing, right? This can go every way you want it to. I even got a little bit of a ribbon for it. As you can see, more critical damage, more base damage, bonus damage to infested. And what is that? Is that a negative? Oh my god, Rob's rocking a negative. Well, it's a negative zoom. So Rob was very happy when he saw that. I'm like, I'm going to keep that as a little bit of a trophy. So all in all, for me, Tiberon Prime is a great go-to weapon. You just don't have to think. Now, when it comes to not thinking, you guys had to know that this was going to happen, right? You guys had to know that the Hema was going to be my favorite weapon of 2019. This is just good in so many different ways. First and foremost, if you're running a super tanky frame and you don't have an Arcane Grace to support you, maybe you want to run some Arcane Energizes to make sure that you have the energy to keep up whatever you need to keep up, you can toss on the Hema, get a couple headshots, refill your health manually. It's nice sometimes to be able to manage things manually because, you know, you never want to sit there and cross your fingers hoping that Grace is going to go off. This time, you can kind of ensure that you're not going to go down. But in general, it's great for like patching yourself up if you need to, and it just deals so much damage. Oh, and it's not even like an insanely high mastery rank weapon. It's just so jutesy. Plus, I don't know if you can tell, but it has a little bit of a heartbeat, so it's our little squish baby. Watch. Just chunks. Just motherfucking chunks. It just feels so freaking good. And why I haven't put an Exilus, a weapon Exilus in this, I don't know, but it will. This will be the first one I put a weapon Exilus into. I mean, it just, well, if I didn't have a reload, it just chunks. And in addition to all that, notice its health is based off of your health. Or it's not health, but its ammo is based off of your health. So it's never-ending ammo. There's just so many good things about this weapon. And I know that a lot of people bitched and moaned that, oh my god, it takes so many resources. It's so hard to get. Listen, put your back into it. Drop that ass, pop that ass, and grind right into it because it is definitely worth your while. I've even demonstrated this weapon without a last lot because everybody's like, oh my god, you have a ribbon on it. That's why it works so well. No. You can use it without a ribbon in the last slot. In fact, that's what we're going to do. I want to drive the point home. So as you can see, this is my setup for it. It's just basically full-on status. And you have to remember that this thing at its core is going to be viral based. So you can run viral and corrosive on this thing. So you shred the armor and you have the health. And it's just beautiful. Oh, we're going in with one less mod. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's still really, really, really good. Just look at that health. I'm so proud. This makes me so happy. Alright, so let's go ahead and put away our favorite primary of the year. Let's go ahead and move on to our throwback weapon for secondaries. This, of course, is a runner-up, and y'all are going to be kind of mad about this one. And that's kind of a reason I love it. Yes, it is the Lado Prime. Now, don't confuse it with the Lado Vandal, because the Lado Vandal isn't as good as the Lado Prime. In fact, None of the Lado variants are as good. The Lado Prime is a Founders exclusive, and it's actually really, really strong. And the reason why I love it so much is because when they buffed it, I was like, what did you do? What is this? But why did you? I didn't think that you were gonna buff it. And then they buffed it, and I was like, holy fuck, what did they do? And it's quite good. It's quite good. Many of you have seen me pop off with the Lado Prime before, and this baby is just a machine. It's just quick and will wear down big. Look at that. It's just nice. It's just nice overall. It feels good to shoot. It doesn't have any like crazy recoils or anything. It's just absolutely juicy. Should I even bother showing you the build for this? Like, is that even a thing that I should worry about? But look, just evaporated. Oh, and it feels so good. See, here's the thing. When we got, you know, the veteran exclusive weapons, they were bad. They were bad. They were terrible weapons. And I just never thought that, you know, they would ever be anything of any worth. But no, DE did something with them. And let me tell you, it's a beautiful thing. As you can see, I have 7 Forma in this because I did do a challenge where I basically Forma'd the entire thing for shits and giggles, because that's what we used to do back in the day when there was no content. We would Forma the shit out of things. So as you can see, we are rocking full crits on there, and then of course I've got some viral to go ahead and help along all of the slash procs that are coming off of this thing, because it is a slash primarily in its IPS. Grammar just went out the window there because I'm drooling over this ribbon that I have for it, which is critical damage, critical chance. And its ribbon disposition is so high because guess what? Nobody's using the Lado Prime. Its usage is so low, thus its disposition is high because nobody can get their hands on it. Woo! Did I just get some thumbs down? I feel like I just got some thumbs down. Listen, be nice to me in the comment section. Now we're gonna move along. Oh, we have 2 Maradetrons? That's a interesting thing. But Maradetron is going to be my next runner-up when it comes to secondary weapons. This thing is just... it's just a long-time favorite. It's made my favorites list over and over and over again. Its ability to proc, just proc like crazy. It's just so freaking good. Now, the only thing that I hate about this is it does have some recoil, and I do have blast on it to take care of, armored enemies, but as you can see, it ate through that guy like nobody's business. This can go ahead and proc your toxins, your gases. This just is a proc champ. And you see how fast it just completely and utterly evaporates a motherfucking level 170, right? It's just a consistent weapon that I've had like year after year. And you know what? It's not just this game, but it's other games too. I've always loved hand cannons, like little shotties that are like close range. It's definitely fun. As you can see, we are running full status on this baby, and I do have a, what is this thing called? A ribbon for it as well, but you can't get to 100% status, which is the most important part when it comes to shotgun type weapons. We do have base damage, punch through, and fire rate, so this thing goes off. It goes off, it goes off, it goes off. So I'm very, very fond of it. And I know that a lot of people really, really like this weapon as well. Now let's go ahead and move in to my favorite secondary of 2019, which kind of hurts my soul a little bit. Because it is the counterpart to the Detron. Now, back in the day, if you guys are not aware, the Detron and the Brakk were 2 competing weapons, right? And we got the Maradetron if we were on one side of the Gradivis Dilemma, or we got the Detron if you were on one side of the Gradivis Dilemma. Thank you for whoever just subbed to me over on Twitch. But in addition, we had the Brakk on the other side. Now, I was fighting tooth and nail to get my hands on the Detron. Now, unfortunately, that didn't happen. The community ended up going with the Grineer side in the Gradivis Dilemma, and we ended up with the Brakk, which looked like poop. But guess what? We have some great secondary skins to kind of like cover up its ugly poopy nature, but they upgraded it with the Kuva Brakk. And I can't hate it. I can't hate it. This thing is a really, really good weapon, even though, you know, I'm not super duper fond of that time in histoire. This is quite just... I feel bad because it feels good, but you know what? Sometimes you have to like mend your ways and say, listen, we can forgive each other for the crimes of the past, and we can come together today. The only thing that I do have to kind of make you guys aware of is this does have a fairly short drop-off range, which I believe is like 10 meters. You get a little bit more on the Maradetron, but as you can see, if you get nice and close, right in their face, you can deal a shit ton of damage. Oh! And because of the fact that it has such a gorgeous skin, and there's a couple of gorgeous skins. Actually, hold on. Let's pause real quick to look at the gorgeous skins. There's the Zundi pistol skin. We also have the Stratus pistol skin, both great. We also have the Perla one, which is off of the Mesa Deluxe. The Nuxu pistol skin is not bad either. That was from the Ember Deluxe. So there's a lot of single pistol skins to kind of like cover up the fact that it looked like a turd. Now... let's go ahead and look at the build real quick. As you can see, we are doing another hybrid with the primes, and then we are running corrosive fire. Now, if you watched my video that specifically pertains to this weapon, I did try out a bunch of different other builds on it where we were focusing on like maybe some viral, trying to push up the slash. This was really the way to go. I also tried out like Augur Pact, like a bunch of different things to see if I could sway it. And you know what? The one that stood out the most for armored targets in high levels is definitely going to be corrosive fire. So it's definitely one of those feelings when you're testing out a bunch of builds that all perform the same, and then you have one build and you're like, oh shit, that's pretty nasty. This is that build. So if you get your hands on the Kuva Brakk, this is going to be the way to go for, at least in my opinion, for the setup. And that's what made this my favorite secondary of the year. Well, hello there, Editing Rob here, just in case you needed a bit of a reminder, because I'm sure I look very different without cradling a real-life Kavat in my arms. However, if it's any consolation, I am covered in a whole bunch of Apollo fur, mainly because of the fact that he wouldn't stick around for a second, third, fourth, or fifth take. He was like, I am out of here. Regardless, today's giveaway is a deluxe skin collection and an Empyrean Grand Bundle. This is available on all platforms. Just do be aware that this is going to be distributed by DE, so they'll get it to you when they get back in office. However, for those of you who are on PC, I wanted to be a Spice Girl and spice up your life. That's right, you knew exactly where I was going, and give you guys some additional giveaways. Now, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually went ahead and recorded like a third of this video originally, and it was like, oh shit, you know what a good idea would be? Instead of whatever shit giveaway I was about to give away, I should give you guys some of the weapons that are in this video, right? So on deck, we've got the Hema, a Maradetron, as well as a Fang Prime and a Glaive Prime. So for those of you guys who want to enter, I need to make sure y'all are subscribed, and believe you me, I will be checking. In addition, I will need your IGN because I gotta figure out where I'm gonna send this shit, right? And for the code of the day, it's gonna be the second letter of your IGN, the third letter of your YouTube name, and to let me know what like platform you're on, I'm gonna need A if you're on PC, B if you're on PS4, C if you're on Xbox One, and D if you're on Switch. So again, the second letter of your IGN, the third letter of your YouTube name, A if you're on PC, B if you're on PS4, C if you're on Xbox One, and D if you're on Switch. Now, if you're on PC and you wanted to enter into like the extra spicy part of the giveaway, what I'm gonna need you to do is after you've put in your 3-letter code, or 3-letter/number code, listen, I don't know what your life is like, you need to put in a dash, and then let me know which of these items you'd be interested in. So H for Hema, M for Maradetron, F for Fang Prime, or G for Glaive Prime. And keep in mind, you can go ahead and put all of those down, just do me a favor and put them in order of like desirability to you. So if you really want to get your hands on a blueprint for the Glaive Prime, put G as your very, very first one, and maybe then M for Maradetron as your second one, and so on and so forth. So just put it in the order of your priority so that when I'm pulling out names, I'll be like, oh, this person wants this first. Oh, this person wants this second. So I can kind of make that right. Regardless, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Past Rob as I pick all of this Apollo fur off of my face. Boop. I lied, it's still me, because I completely forgot to tell you when I was going to go ahead and pull winners for this. That would be on the 26th of December at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So feel free to enter in for the rest of the day and a little bit tomorrow morning. Now, for real this time, I'll pass it off to Past Rob. Boop. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at my throwback runner-up for melee weapons, which is the Glaive Prime. This one has been one of my resounding favorites for quite a long time. Now, there was a bit of a bug when Melee, 2.999997 released. Is it officially 3.0 now? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's no, because we don't have the big crazy limit break attack. So it's still 2.99997. But there's a little bit of a bug where it was applying the combo damage to every thrown attack. It doesn't do that now. But the reason I love this weapon is I like being in Viz and throwing this goddamn glaive. And I definitely like it better when you have a single pistol as your secondary, because you can kind of get that little charge attack up going. But you see, when you do that, you get the guaranteed slash proc, and this thing has a lot of status in it. So you have a chance at like proccing your viral at the same time. So you're just doing nasty, nasty, nasty amounts of damage, and it makes me very happy. Especially when you're invisible and you get that that stealth damage bonus. Oh, it's just good. And when you hit them on the way back, when you hit them on the way back, it's always a nice little bonus too. It just feels really good. But you do, I will be honest, it feels a lot better when you get a viral proc on them, because you saw that time you didn't necessarily get the viral proc and it wasn't as effective as that first time around. But oh god, the Glaive Prime still one of my favorites for the longest time. So this is my throwback favorite. Listen, this is the build that I go with. I'm not saying that it's the greatest build out there, but this is what I have definitely been enjoying. You can see that I focus a lot on crits and viral. There's a trend going on here. Listen, it's basically gonna be like hybrid builds for melee. All right. As you can see right here, I do have a blood rush on this, and it's mainly because of the fact that I run with Naramon constantly, so I'm able to build up my my combo counter with that. And then of course my what is this called, my Riven is going to be attack speed and then critical chance, which is 2 times for heavy attacks. I love it. It makes me so happy. Again, like I said, this may not necessarily be the best weapon in the history of all weapons, but it is definitely one of my long-term favorites. Now the next one is not necessarily, how do I put this? It's not necessarily a specific weapon, but it's a grouping of weapons, and technically you're going to see a throwback weapon here. It's going to be the Fang Prime. But the Fang Prime is going to be representing for all of the new charge attack weapons. There are a lot of different charge attack weapons out there, and I've been playing with them. I don't necessarily love them as compared to like a combo counter type of weapon, but I can respect them. I love the creativity of it, and I love the fact that people get a lot of different ways to play. So for me, you know I'm all about player option, right? DE shouldn't force us to play specific ways if we don't want to. Hashtag trash bag. But I really love the fact that this was now an option, right? I love the fact that you can do these charge attacks and put in a whole bunch of slash procs on your enemy and basically just kill them outright. I'm wondering, I don't think that this is the right build. Straight out the gate, I was like, I think you forgot to swap builds. Ignore all of this, because I think that this is it. This is the build. Okay, pretend you didn't see that last one. We had some technical difficulties that happen sometimes here when Rob forgets to switch things up. But this is technically the charge attack build, okay? And what you'll notice is these slash procs are basically chunking these guys. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. I absolutely hate the shitty clickbait motherfucking videos out there that are like, it's a one-hit kill build. It's a one-hit. If you have to wait for that weapon to finish its slash procs, I ain't calling that a one-hit kill build, alright? Because I'm still waiting for that slash proc to go off and that motherfucker's still shooting at me. That ain't one-hit kill. That's a hit it once and then wait for the slash proc to go off build. Everybody on my stream knows that I get triggered by this. But for those of you guys who are on my YouTube channel, now you know that I hate that bullshit as well. When I say one-hit kill, I mean you hit them once and then they dead. I'll even give you a follow-up slash proc to kill him, but not like waiting for a whole full 6 seconds for that slash proc to go off, motherfucker. Alright? But I will say that I do quite enjoy these from time to time. So, that's why charged weapons in general, I kind of like them this year. I kind of do enjoy them. Now, these last weapons, you'll make note of. By the way, if you guys didn't see the build, I didn't actually put the build up. This is the build that I was using, and this is kind of sort of the build that you would go with certain weapons. You wouldn't necessarily always go with the elemental mods at the end. Sometimes you would go in and put in things like Spoiled Strike, and other things that would kind of help supplement that. But I kind of like this setup a little bit better because you are hitting with 2 daggers, and then you can make do with some additional condition overload, and then if you happen to get a viral on there, then it's bonus. Listen, this is a complex, you know, explanation of the build, but in general, this is kind of sort of what you want to go with, and then you have 2 free slots at the end. It doesn't have to be those 2, but in this case, because it's 2, that's why I'm doing, well, technically it's 3. It's 3. These 3 are like flexible. Anyway, that's the build for that, and I also wanted to remind you that there is the Zoroastra dual dagger skin. I still don't remember where this came from. I think that this might have just been a single release, but just in case, it's very, very pretty, and because we haven't been using dual daggers in a long-ass time, I'm just putting that out there into the universe in case you want to revisit. Now, when it comes to my actual weapon of the year, technically it's not a weapon. It is a combo. But it goes on this specific weapon, and you've seen me use it a million gazillion times. If you've been on my stream, the dual Keres has been a long time favorite of mine. You could sub this out with like the Nami Skyla, but really for me, because of the fact that it's not super duper used a lot, the ribbon disposition is kind of nice on it, so I'm just saying. And when we're going to talk about the combo that I actually use for it, it's specifically Carving Mantis's Throw Out Your Blades. Throw Out Your Blades combo. And before I even bring up an enemy, I want to show this to you. You don't nerf this. Listen, don't nerf this. So as you can see right here, it's got a nice range to it for where it can hit. It can hit a lot of enemies at once. Did you see that? Did it spark off in the middle of the 2 of them? Don't tell me it did. Hold on. Look at that. Look at that range. I do, my Riven does have a little bit of range in it, but come on! That's a big old group of enemies, and you can build up so much combo counter off of it. It's so good! So, now I do have to be careful because there is a punch forward on this combo, where it'll actually knock this guy back, but as you can see, oh my god, the slash procs on this baby, if I actually, like, went in, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't being so cautious about not knocking him off the edge like I did right there, it would be absolutely fantastic. I've just really thoroughly enjoyed using this weapon in a lot of different places. Again, it's not the most powerful of the bunch, but because of the fact that you can strike so many enemies at once with it, it's quite juicy. I've also gone back and forth with the build. Look, it kind of does a successful little juggle, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Is he dead? That counts! That counts! Let's go ahead and jump in and show you the build for this one. I've been playing around with the build to perfect it a little bit, and then I kind of left it alone because I got tired of fucking around with it. But I might also drop Weeping Wounds and put in a little bit of Prime Pressure Point. This is technically a combo-based build, so basically a lot of people would say, oh, use Weeping Wounds instead because of the fact that, you know, it's going to end up dealing more damage because you're going to get more, more consistent procs, yada, yada, yada. You could also toss in Gladiator's Might in there for increased critical damage. But me personally, like, I just kind of like put something in there and figure it out. It does the job for me. I'm very much happy with it as it stands. Well, maybe I'm not happy with that. I just like the part where you throw the sword and you hit a lot of enemies at once. So me personally, I'm a big fan of it. You might not be convinced, but I've been using it and I feel it a very successful capacity. So as you can see right here, whatever the hell you want to put here. Blood Rush, Condition Overload because it's a combo type weapon. Drift in Contact for extra status and combo holding duration. Viral, Organ Shatter because we do want to put a little crit stank on that ass. And then here we have my my ribbon for it, which is Critical Chance, and then it's got bonus range and bonus cold, which helps feed into the viral. So all in all, these are going to be my favorite weapons of 2019. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorites are for this year. Also, I'm really curious to see, how do you guys feel about the weapons that were released this year? Were there any that made you go, oh my god, that's so good and it totally has to be on your list? I was thinking of putting the pennant there, but I don't feel like it's earned its stripes quite yet for like the whole charge attack kind of melee thing. But if there were any weapons that absolutely blew you away this year, aside from, you know, maybe the Kuva weapons, toss them down in the comments below. I'm very curious to see what you hear, and also free to let me know what weapons were your favorite. But that about does it for nodewihoe 2019. We're about to be in 2020. I'm excited for what this new year holds. Hopefully it doesn't hold a couple people that are in government. But listen, we won't get into that here, but you know what I'm talking about. I have some Moscato that is peach flavored. I call it my impeachment wine. I'm going to be drinking that on stream tomorrow. Regardless, that's going to do it for me for now. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.